Welcome to another video. In this video, we'll discuss all about the income tax slabs, wherein we'll draw a comparison between the old and the new tax system, after which probably you'll be in a better position to find out which tax regime is the most suitable or the most beneficial for you. Now, as far as individuals are concerned, they are taxed not at a specific rate or a flat rate, rather, they go through something called the slab system, wherein different rates of tax are prescribed for different ranges of income. Now, the general logic which works here is that higher the income, higher is the amount of tax. And if your income is more than the minimum threshold limit or exceeding the basic exemption limit, then you end up filing your income tax returns and paying the applicable taxes. So therefore, from financial year 2020 to 23, which just got over, an individual needs to file his income tax returns before 31st of July 2023. Before which you can either opt for the old regime or the new regime for the purpose of computing your income tax. So let's first step into the old tax regime. Well, here you have some tax slabs and tax rates prescribed on the side. What it says is that up to 2,50,000 you have no tax. For the next 2,50,000 you have 5%. For the next 5 lakhs it is 20%, and for an income which is more than 10 lakhs, the tax rate prescribed here is 30%. So these tax slabs and tax rates under the old tax regime is more suitable for those having a higher level of income, because when they have high income, they may automatically have high level of investments and deductions which they can certainly claim in the old tax regime. Coming into the new tax slabs, here with one glance you'll be able to find out and observe that the number of tax slabs have gone up and the tax rates have in fact reduced. What it says is that up to 2,50,000 the tax rate is 0, that means there's no tax. And then for every 2,50,000 the rate is 5%, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then for an income which is exceeding 15 lakhs, you have 30%. So although the tax slabs are increasing, the tax rates are reducing, the catch here in the new tax regime is the fact that you cannot claim any deductions or exemptions, because the government is giving you one benefit in terms of increased tax slabs and number two in terms of reduced tax rates. So therefore the benefit of deduction and exemptions is not available under the new tax regime. So for all those who have low level investments or those who do not have much of deductions or exemptions can certainly claim for the for computing tax under the new tax regime. Now the real question here is that which one should I choose? Should I go for the old tax system or the new tax system? Now I'll be a bit diplomatic here and I'll tell you that for the purpose of choosing, you really need to compare and evaluate and find out under which particular system you end up paying a lower amount of tax. So to understand this further, let's take the case of an example. Let's say this person's income is 10 lakhs in a particular financial year. He has taken two insurance policies, one in respect of his life for which he's paying a yearly premium of 70,000 and the other one in respect of his health for which he's paying a medical premium of 28,000 rupees. He has also taken a house loan for the purpose of construction or purchase of his house, on which he's supposed to pay a principal of 1 lakh, and on top of that the interest amount comes to 75,000. So all these spends or all these expenditure are basically deductions which he can claim or which he can reduce from his total income if he is going for the old tax regime. So therefore, if he is choosing for the old tax regime, the final tax outlay that he has to pay is around 65,000 rupees because he is able to claim a lot of deductions. But if you're going for the new one, then you cannot claim all these deductions and in turn you can only provide for your income, and you will end up paying a tax of 78,000 rupees. So this difference, which is 13,000 rupees, is the savings in respect of tax outlay or tax outflow, because he has gone for the old tax regime. Because under the new tax regime you cannot get deductions and exemptions, and that is why under the new you end up paying a more amount of tax. Well, from financial year 23-24 onwards, which is the running current year, the new tax slabs has underwent a revision. The tax slabs have changed and the tax rates have further gone down. What it says is that up to 3 lakhs the tax rate is nil, and then for every 3 lakhs you have the tax rates which is 5, 10, 15, 20, and finally above 15 lakh remains the same, which is 30%. Now, the good part about the revised tax slabs is the fact that if you have an income up to 7 lakhs, you don't have to shell out any amount of tax because you have something called rebate coming in between. And in the earlier new tax regime, you did not get any deductions and exemptions, but in the revised one, you get something called as the standard deduction, which is usually 30% of your income if you're earning income from the head salary. Now, the second real question is, when should I opt for the old or the new scheme? Well, if you're a salaried person or if you're getting any income from other sources, then you have two options. You either opt at the beginning or just before you file your income tax return, which in this case will be 31st of July 2023. But if you are a businessman or a profession and you're earning income from the head business or profession, then twice you can change between old and new. You can switch between old and new, new to old, etc. But after that, there's a permanent lock-in period, which means post this two times option that is given to you, you cannot come back to old or new as you wish. Well, in my opinion, the government is gunning towards the new tax regime. They're telling you to come to the new tax regime because they brought about the revision, the tax slabs and tax rates and all that. Because they're saying that, look, if you come to the new tax regime, you end up saving less amount, end up spending less amount of taxes because one, your tax slabs have gone up and your tax rates have gone down. Because the tax outlay will be less, you will have more disposable income in your hands with which you can buy multitude of products and services, thereby increasing the economic condition of the state or the country. And you have this component called GST, which is levied on every product and service that you buy. And therefore, in turn, the government gets the GST in their hands. So, when they're saying reduce income tax by way of introducing new tax slabs, indirectly, GST component will be more in their hands. And this strategy or this objective was very evident when the numbers came out in the previous budget estimate, which said that the GST collections in fact superseded the income tax collections. Well, I hope I was able to make things clear through this particular video. If you liked the video, please do show your support by hitting the like button. If you want more videos like these on a regular basis by way of notifications, also support us by hitting the subscribe button. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and thank you.